apparently Sony had a game in development, an unannounced sci-fi FPS at Final Strike. You guys might remember Final Strike as the studio that made that random volleyball or that not volleyball, dodgeball game for EA. Do you remember that game?
Oh,
Did they
yeah.
they have
what is yeah.
Oh no, Rocket Arena is. I'm sorry, it's the wrong company. I'm thinking of someone else.
Rocket Arena.
So let me pull this up here real quick and make sure I have the right guys. Yeah, so EA published Rocket Arena. Yeah, this is the one. I'm thinking of a totally different thing. It's like that crazy kinetic action hero shooter, 3v3 arena shooter, I guess. Anyway, Sony apparently had been working with these guys for 3 years on a game, an unannounced multiplayer game. This could be one of the vaunted games as a service. And claims had started circulating in recent days that the plug had been pulled on this game. And originally I wasn't going to report on this because, first of all, it's not the first time that I've heard a game has had a plug pulled on it. And I can't confirm or deny some of this stuff. So it's hard for me to work those angles. And I don't want to put bad information out there and then have people cite this. I know how it will go, right? I'll report on something someone else had said, and then they'll claim that I fucking said it. And so I like to just be very wary of reporting those things. However, Tom Henderson wrote about this, and I think Insider Gaming is a generally reliable source. And here's why I believe it is because he says the claims come from a Twitter user who he names, who provided Insider Gaming with evidence of the claims from an ex-developer at the studio under the condition that the source remain anonymous. So he has seen information, which is, and I'll tell you this as an ex-journalist and someone who still breaks news, I guess, today, is that's actually a step beyond one source. In other words, you want to verify your source with a second source, but if you have someone that's showing you primary information, you don't really need a second source as long as you believe that the primary information is real, which it certainly is, and I've reported on those things in the past as well. So in other words, what I'm saying is that this is probably real. As a result, Final Strike Games it apparently laid off like half their staff or something like that, and the game has been canceled. This is why you let studios do their thing, I think, and don't announce things too early or whatever, because this to me is irrelevant because it was never announced. So people look at this and say, oh, look, this is a horrible thing for Sony. And I'm like, maybe. I mean, certainly producers bought in on a project, should the story be true, that was not coming to fruition to PlayStation standard, but they're willing to cancel it and just walk away from it. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. It's much better than them releasing a Godfall-like game or a fucking Babylon's Fall-like game or an Anthem-like game if you're not getting it right.
Or Redfall.
Exactly. Just walk away.
Curse of the Fall, you know.
The Fall, yeah.
Godfall in their name.
Godfall, Redfall.
Stay away.
Fallout 76.
Yeah.
John Garvin, get away from the Ashfall name. We need a different name.
Oh, no. Yeah, get that fall out of there. Falls will fall.
Yeah, fall.
Well, maybe that'll have an opposite effect. We have a game named Fall. It'll be
it's like an Uno reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, man. Like, this is bad news, but also good news. It's a game that's lost, but a game we don't have to endure. And we're going to talk about a studio closure later in Pixel Opus, and so we're going to get to that, and I'll leave most of this for there. But I don't look at culling as necessarily a bad thing. I know this is going to sound like people are like, well, it's a kind of a fanboyish thing, but I'm like, no. You cull when the product isn't up to snuff. You don't just buy in and release things because you've put them into motion. That's bad. And I think Sony realizes that its advantage over Xbox in games is quality. If there's a Sony stamp on the game, it's got to be high quality. There's no reason to release anything that's bad. You don't need to. Your games, as we will talk about later too, are selling extraordinarily high. So, I just wanted to point out that, we hear this, the sci-fi shooter's canceled. I don't know if you guys looked at this story. There's art at the top of it. Is this real art from the game? This is what I'm confused about.
I don't know.
It's like concept art. It shows a giant metallic robotic like humanoid creature standing next to a guy on a horse with a sword on his back. Totally different scales in some sort of tundra. I don't know. I don't know where this art came from.
I gotta be honest. It looks like I don't mean to be offensive to the artist or whatever. It looks like AI art to me. Like, it looks like an AI thing. I don't think it is. I'm just saying it doesn't look pretty. Like, if this was concept art for something, I'd be like, this looks. I'm not inspired by this at all.
Yeah, maybe
So-
here I can try to do a.
Oh wait,
Like
I
a
did
Google-
I did a reverse stream. So yeah, this isn't from the game. I don't think. I don't know where this art came from.
Yeah, it's whatever it is.
Or maybe it's when I search for it there, it says Robot Uprising.
Hmm.
Cool
Okay.
Cool War robot wallpaper. But why would they choose this?
Is it a image that you can buy from a website, like a
Right.
stock website?
I,
Yeah,
I,
But
maybe.
even then, you should still, if you're reporting that, I would suggest, maybe it's not required, but at least put what it is or where it's from.
yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah.
They
So
don't
we're
have
not-
any citation here on their story about this image, but it's definitely an image that's been circulated in the past. I guess what I'm saying is I wonder if that's the best, that like they have this, they're like, this is what the game is, and so they search for that, and that's what comes up.
Yeah.
As like the best representation of it visually. I have no idea.
Probably.